Tēnā tātou katoa, we seek wisdom, understanding, insights into the views and circumstances of others, strength to seek what we believe in, humility to accept the combined decisions of others, patience, good humour at all times, tolerance and courtesy while working in the best interests of our community. If I can begin, as I suggested before formally opening the meeting, with a roll call, please. Sandra, could you do the roll call?
Deputy Mayor Cashmore.
Present.
Councillor Bartley.
Present.
Councillor Casey.
Yes.
Councillor Collins.
Kia ora.
Councillor Coombe.
Kia ora.
Councillor Cooper.
Kia ora koutou.
Councillor Dalton.
Present.
Councillor Darby.
Yes.
Councillor Filipina.
Talofa.
Councillor Fletcher.
Present.
Councillor Henderson.
Aye.
Councillor Hills.
Kia ora.
Councillor Mulholland.
Present.
Councillor Newman.
Good afternoon.
Councillor Sayers.
Present, thank you.
Councillor Simpson.
In the room.
Councillor Stewart.
Yes, I can hear you, thank you.
Councillor Walker. Councillor Watson.
Present.
Councillor Young. Thank you, Your Worship. That concludes the roll call.
Thank you. So we have two members that aren't online at the moment, Councillor Walker and Councillor Young. Can we just contact those? Just as certainly Councillor Walker was on the last call. I'm not sure about Councillor Young. Anyway, look, we'll go through, if you can follow up on that. We have received no formal apologies. Is that correct? Are there any declarations that any member needs to make in terms of today's business? If not, move on to petitions. There is no petitions, there is no public input, there is no local board input. I've been advised of no extraordinary items, and we come now to the 3 or 4 items on the agenda that relate to referrals from the Finance and Performance Committee. So normally these are done in a pro forma way. That is not to exclude any member that wants to make a comment, but these have already been subject to debate and have been voted on. So we come first of all to item number 8, the Pāremo Remo Public Transport Targeted Rate. And the motion on the screen is to agree the recommendations from the Finance and Performance Committee. Could I have somebody move and second that, please? It's moved by Desley Simpson, seconded by Shane Henderson. Are there any questions? Are there any comments? If not, I'll put the recommendation that we agree to recommendations from the Finance and Performance Committee. I'll do it on the voices. If anybody has a dissent, if they can please register that with me. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
To the contrary, I declare that passed unanimously. We come now to item number 9, which is amendments to the revenue and financing policy. And I think I'll just ask if the former mover and seconder will move and second each of these items. So moved Councillor Simpson, seconded Councillor Henderson. Are there any questions? Are there any comments? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
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 To the contrary, no. I declare that passed without dissent. We come now to item number 10, and I'm required to put clause A separately, and that is agree to recommend to the governing body to support the supporting information for the long-term plan 2021 to 2031. But first of all, maybe I'll move this one and ask Councillor Simpson to second it. Are there any questions? Are there any comments? So,
Yes, Your Worship. Just briefly, it's Councillor Fletcher speaking.
Councillor Fletcher.
I am very happy to support and ensure that this material goes out, but I want to make it clear that it doesn't imply necessarily anything other than support for the consultation material. But I think it's important that we get the information out, and I thank the officers who have worked so diligently on preparing it.
Thank you, Councillor Fletcher, and we take that as read. This is to go out to consultation. It doesn't preclude whatever vote you or any other councillor might decide to cast on the final 10-year budget. Are there any further comments? Councillor Sayers.
Thank you, Your Worship. A bit like Councillor Fletcher, happy for this to go out for consultation, Your Worship. Obviously, a lot of work and time and workshopping has gone into this document. I would, Your Honour, like to, Your Worship, have recorded either in these minutes by the company's committee secretary or in the Auckland Council Health and Safety Register under my name, that I have concerns about the impact that the proposed reduced regional unsealed roading improvement program budget will have in terms of health and safety hazards for the rural community. Just as in our terms of governorship, Your Worship, I'd like that recorded because I do have some concerns that with the reduced budget from 121 million down to the proposed 40 million, that roading network regionally won't be addressed, and the health issues that have been experienced by those communities will continue. So I'd just like that noted as appropriate, please.
Thank you, Councillor. We've noted your comments, and I do note that in the consultation document that if we go ahead with the one-off 5% increase, that will increase by some millions the amount of money, I think 6 million, that can go towards the sealing of roads. If we don't pass that, then the budget will be zero for that. So that's something that your constituents and you will obviously take into account. Okay, I'll put the resolution A first. Agree to support the supporting information for the long-term plan. All those in favour, please say aye.
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 To the contrary, no. And I'll declare that passed without dissent. And now I'll put recommendations B and C, where we adopt the consultation document and agree to delegate responsibility to the Chair and the Chief Financial Officer to approve any final edits. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
To the contrary,
Aye.
no. And I'll declare that passed without dissent. We come now to item number 11, which is the 10-year budget, communications and engagement plan. That will be moved by Councillor Simpson, seconded by Councillor Henderson. Are there any questions? Are there any comments? If not, I will put the recommendations, which are on your papers or on your screen in front of you. All those in favour, please say aye.
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 To the contrary, no. I'll declare that carried without dissent. We come now to the final item on the agenda, which is consideration of extraordinary business. I have been notified of no such business. So at this point, I'd like to thank councillors and officials, particularly actually everybody, for the hard work that's gone into this consultation document. Inevitably, in these cases, not everybody agrees on everything, but I think we've worked together cohesively and collaboratively to get the best possible outcome from the city's point of view. And I genuinely thank everybody that is a member of the governing body and the Finance and Performance Committee, of course, and our officers for the work they have put into that. 77 hours of workshopping. Nobody can say that we've gone lightly over this topic. So with thanks and celebrating that we're at level 2, and hopefully, I haven't heard the 1 o'clock news yet, hopefully maybe back to...
No community cases.
No cases?
No cases.
No cases, that's fantastic. That will help our appetite over lunch. So let's look forward to maybe being able to get back to level 1 next week, though that decision has not yet been made. So have a good weekend, everybody, and thank you very much for your participation. I declare the meeting closed.